Hey YouTube, it's Xrannos again. Alright, today I decided from actually a suggestion from one of my in-game friends to do a Barrows guide. Now this is probably going to be consisted in about two parts. So the first part's going to be more information, while the second part would be more of the actually doing the Barrows trip. Let me see if I can find my friend's name. There he is. His name is Green Dragon H, or his last name used to be Johnny B. He wanted me to use both names for some reason. Now, I did try to actually message him when he was offline to tell him that I actually did make videos of this literally a few minutes ago, but the quality I thought could have been a little better. So I decided to redo it. Alright, first we're going to start off with our setup. Now, I'm a higher level, as you can see, level 136, so I don't have really much issue doing barrows, as you can see with my skills and everything, but I'll still explain my setup. My setup, I usually go for kind of a melee defense related setup. Um, an aura may not always be necessary, but I will say using a reverence aura can definitely come in handy at barrows. Not absolutely needed. I usually don't use it too much myself, usually because I just forget about it. But my main weapon I use is my Black Salamander. Now, Black Salamander has actually three different combat styles, as you see right here, which is range, your melee, which is strength, and your magic. Now, for barrows, you're mainly going to be wanting to use magic. Now, if you did Ritual of the Majara like I have, you're probably going to be using the range one a little bit when you fight a Kirsai, and I'll show you that, especially when I actually fight a Kirsai. Because in my last video was my first time actually fighting a Kirsai, and honestly, he was a joke. I had no issue against him at all. The only thing special he had is he has protection prayers that pretty much protect him 100% from whatever attack you're using, so you have to switch between two different attack styles. And being, for me, range with the salamander to whatever my melee weapon is. Alright. Now, aside from my melee armor setup I have, let's look at my inventory. Aside from my Black Salamander, and you must have Harlander Tar as ammo to even use a Black Salamander, make sure you use a Ring of Wealth. Now, a Ring of Wealth will give you some extra rewards from the Barrows chest, such as Prayer Potion 2s, Restore Potions 2, which I actually got one from the last trip. Now, even though they're really cheap and easy to get, they're actually useful to use because a rim will always lower your attack, strength, and defense stats. And whenever he does that, after you pretty much beat a rim, you can just drink a dose of this and your stats are restored right there on the spot and you'll be fine. Now, aside from that, my setup I got is I use my Dragon Fire Shield and my Whipvine, which is my main source of melee attack. These are mostly used for a Rim, Kirill, and a Kirsai, and also the tunnels. Those are the main places I'll be using that. My special attack weapon is mainly used for a Rim and Kirill. I'll use 50% of my special bar for one of them and the other 50 for the second one. Now, you'll need at least one prayer potion. Now, if you know how to do barrels really well, you can easily do this on actually a prayer potion 1. I've done it actually a few times. But anytime you do barrels, you must at least have a prayer potion in some way, shape, or form. It is extremely risky to go without one in some type of way. Now, aside from that, it's not needed, but it's very useful. You can use a Holy Wrench. Now, what a Holy Wrench does, you get it from the quest Rum Deal. At least I'm pretty sure that's what the quest is. Pretty much what it does is anytime you drink any dose of a prayer potion, it will restore your prayer points more than normal. Now, that's very useful, especially since anytime you're doing barrels while you're doing it, the brothers will constantly drain your prayer at a certain rate. I know the more brothers you kill, the larger the drain rate is. Now, options to actually get there. Now, I'm going to use the older methods and then explain the newer one that I also have. Now, let me open my map so I can explain the older methods. Now, the older methods. Now, as you can see right now, I am in Canifis. This is the main place you want to be. Now, if you did the quest Ghost Ahoy, you can just get yourself an Ectofurl, and with an Ectofurl will teleport you right here to the Ectofungus, or Fungus. I don't know how to pronounce it. From there, just run the Canifis, and now when you're at Canifis, you have two options based on what quest you've done. Now, if you haven't done any of the Mortanian quests, which I think it's the Darkness of Hollowvale, but I'm not sure if that's the exact quest for it or not. I cannot guarantee that. I know it's in that quest series for sure. That I do know. Now, if you have not done those quests, your main option is going to be pretty much start right here at the gate to the swamp. Now, while you're in the swamp, the path you pretty much want to go is from here. I think you can go through here, but if not, you'll go around this way. And you'll just go through the swamp, going down this way. You'll go through this way. Just keep going down, and you want to go down to the hollows. Now, I know some people will sometimes take the longer path and go this way. I'm not sure why. It takes a lot longer. Because right when you get to the hollows, there isn't a boat right here. You can take a boat ride right down this river, and it'll just drop you off right here, right outside the barrows. And do pretty much just from there, run the barrows. Now, second option. If you've done the quest series like I was talking about, you have a little dungeon, as you can see here. It's not really that big of a dungeon. It's actually very small, but it's more of an underground tunnel. What this tunnel does is it'll go through here, and you'll pop up right here. Now, once you pop up right here, now, anytime you're in a swamp, you'll be attacked by ghast. Now, when a ghast attack you, if you're carrying any food on you, they'll attempt to pretty much eat it for themselves, and they'll leave a rotten food in your inventory, thus using up your food, and you want to get through the swamp as fast as possible. If you're not using any food, you'll just get hit by a very small amount of damage. Now, this is only if you did not dodge their attack. So pretty much whether you're doing through this way or this way, you want to get through the swamp as fast as possible. Now, after that, during the quest, you actually build a bridge here on top of 2 trees. You'll use that path, go through that bridge, or over it, should I say, and just pretty much run south right down to the hollows, use that boat again, and boom, you're at Barrows. Now, if you've done the branches of Darkmere, which is actually the city for the quest, is located right here, we do it with an actually really difficult boss to fight right here, but that's a story for another day. You'll get Draken's Medallion, which I will show you once this loads up. Alright, here we go. Draken's Medallion. Now, what this medallion does is it gives you different teleport options, which you see right here. Darkmere, that's the city's name. One being, as you can see right here, the main one we're going to be using is Barrows. Now, teleport options with the medallion. This is pretty decently important. Now, when you have a fully charged one, it will have 10 charges. Mine currently is at 5, I think, but 5 is still pretty good. Now, anytime you use the teleport option while you're in the Mortanian area or Canifis or just anywhere around this dark area, it will not use up a charge because it seems to be really close in the darkness area. I don't remember the exact reason. All I know is it will not use a charge. But if you're outside this area, such as you're at Varrock or something like that, it will use up a charge. Now anytime I personally do Barrows, I'll usually, if I'm outside this area, I'll usually just use a charge up just to get the Barrows real fast and just get that out the way pretty much. But obviously, if you're inside the area and you're about to do it, then yeah, of course you're going to use it, not use a charge up. Now, since pretty much all the teleportation or travel options have been covered, at least the main ones I can think of, let's actually arrive at Barrows so I can explain the different patterns of how you would take down the brothers. Alright. Now that we're at Barrows, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different mounds. First one right here in the top right corner is Tharok. Now he's considered the most dangerous, so you definitely want to take him out first. Always use Protect from melee against him. Second one I take out, which is right here in the middle, is Arim. He's a magic user. Protect from mage if you have it. You can survive without it, but make sure you use an armor that doesn't have complete negative magic bonus. I know Bantos doesn't have complete negative, but it's still pretty low. Next we have Kirill. He uses range, extremely accurate. Definitely recommend using range prayer if you can against him. Now, Arim and Kirill are the two you want to use melee against, or your special attack weapons, which I was talking about. So, now, Kirsai, you don't have to use your special, but I'll explain that in a second. Now we have Varix. Varix, he can hit through prayer and armor almost like it's not there, but still using melee protect reduces the damage. And also, a Kirsai's tunnel will also connect to this if you've done Richoda Majorat. And from his tunnel, pretty much he uses melee attack, but he has a magic defense like armor, kind of like how a Rim's armor looks. So melee and range are effective against him. Protection, if you want to use it, go for it, but it's not needed. Torag is right here. He's considered usually the least dangerous, but he usually hits me pretty decently high, so I usually do him before the last one. And the last one in the bottom right hand corner over here is Guthins. Now Guthins not too bad, but if he hits you, he has a special attack that can recover his health. Alright, I have roughly 5 seconds left, so I'll see you guys in part 2 for the actual run through. See you then.